Okay, so, hello again. I am once again playing with this here Minecraft mod. Since last time, I have made a few things that should be of interest to you. I've also not updated this little corner with the various little pools of funny smelling water that I'm dropping dust into. That's still a thing, and uh, I'm almost done getting to the end of the upgrade here. But the first thing I want to show off is using this whole create mod, I have automated trees in a way I'm pretty satisfied with. So just to explain here, we got this saw on the front of this, which just, as it intersects with a log, it will cut through it, and then if there are no connections to it anymore, it will take down the entire tree. Then we have this hand on the back, which is just holding a fistful of saplings, which is replenishing from the chest behind it. Right back there. And as it goes along, it will, you can see right here, the tree goes down. Just replace those. And if I, okay, don't want to stop it there. Yeah, it's really hard to show it off, but the way I'm powering all this at the moment is I found out that in addition to windmills and water mills, you can build a fan, which is what this is here, over a heat source, like this fire that I have on some netherrack. And that will, you can turn it on, power anything above it. That is a radial chassis, it just kind of is automatically on any side of it. That is a bearing, it'll just spin if it's getting rotational force. I didn't actually need these chassis here, I could just use any bricks and glue that I have now to hold it all together. But, anything you have like glued together with this stuff, if you have any chests in there, it will just kind of automatically, holy cow, slot apples. It will automatically do what it needs with the inventory. Just if anything gets broken, it goes in there. If something is trying to like pull something out of something to do something, it comes out of there. So this will run indefinitely until that chest is full, which it's close to. And I could improve this in a few ways. I could have this be, you know, more than just the one saw. I could actually finish this partial ring of dirt. I can fix the glue on some of these where these, what do you call them, linear chassis will like stick to some stuff in like 8 blocks in a direction if you don't shorten it down. So if I stop this and there's a tree right behind it, it will kind of take a chunk of the tree with it when it leaves. But I'm pretty happy with it for the amount of time I spent on it, and, you know, learning exercise. I had a creeper incident, so I had to replace this and got a gold version of it, which goes faster, so that's nice. I actually have in my inventory enough stuff to update this to the final tier, I believe, of funny smelling water. So, you know what, let me do that real quick before I forget. Just in goes this, that, that. A lag spike. Invar, brass, lead, and then so very much stone. It's a little ridiculous, honestly. Come on, keep tossing in. And these better be landing in the pool, not going over the edge. That would be painful. These were not easy to get in this quantity. Okay. And now I have ore forming water, which is really cool because I have these blank ores that I made by just combining I think it was dust and stone. And if I throw these into there, they will turn into like actual ore blocks, like the kind you mine. Something else I can do with it too. So that's cool, and I hope I don't need any more like iron because I'm shut out of it for now until well, I can get that way, I guess too. But anyway, my other big project at the moment, I cleaned this up a little bit and got these fancy gold chests that hold a lot, which helps because these link cables for this version of this kind of suck. The one is plugged into this controller, which is attached to all these drawers. So those are all good. Those hold one thing each. For everything else, I have to have spacing, because these will try to like connect in the grid and don't like to actually do that, and then these links, and then one chest touching that and no others. So it's a little janky. And, oh, this is updating properly finally now, at least. But anyway, the other thing I had to do... well, first of all, those are getting tall. And that's getting full. And these plague doctors just keep showing up in there. I've also managed to lure various, like, sheep in there and a pig, but those two are just not interested in my wheat. Anyway, so one of the more exciting things I got is... so far, everything I've got going pretty much is just create stuff. Oh, I'm not sure if I showed this off. This is a fun little setup here. I know before I had the mixer here, and then I had the big grist mill that I've taken down and moved somewhere else. But then I also set up this here belt, which is just like string across these shafts, and I'm actually curious, do I have enough power now to run these both at once? Because I took that off. Let me just grab a cog and see if I can just slap this on without it breaking. Nope. Okay. Still a little bit too much stress, but if I take this one off, then, okay, that's spinning, and this is also hooked up to... this here press, and what that does is, if I had anything at all to demonstrate this with, you know what, I think I have some iron left. What harm could I do to just one of these? So I can just, you know, take, say, this iron ingot, and just casually toss it on there. It'll carry it down. Smash it into a flat plate. So I'm going to have to carry on after my first getting kind of full, but yeah. And that will do like whole stacks at once. It's pretty convenient. I have other smashy things, but I like this one better. So the other things I have in progress at the moment. And I should grab some of this on the way out too. So this right here, I've had this going. This is my coke oven. It is making blocks of coal coke by taking coal, which is made from charcoal and sulfur, which I'm kind of out of, in the mixer to get regular coal. Then I put the regular coal in here and make a block at a time, because why not? Which gives me coal coke, which I'm going to need, and creosote oil, which has uses. It's used for that treated wood that I was using for a lot of this stuff, and it's used for a fuel source later on. I've just kind of been making these tanks and putting it in here, so I don't like just throw it all out, because I don't really have a short-term use for it, but it's a pain in the neck to get more if I do need it, so like, better safe than sorry. And now I have a cat sitting on my keyboard, so could you actually like lay down and not block the screen entirely for me, baby? That would be nice. Want to say hi to people? You good? Okay. Well, something is beeping. I think it's like a smoke alarm in somebody else's apartment or something. Just with a low battery. Okay, that's only partially on my keyboard. That's good. So anyway, then we have this ladder. I'm going to explain why I built this ladder as I climb it. And you can all, you know, what a thrill, etc., etc. I don't want to get copyright struck by trying to actually sing it. Well, the map is purple because I realized that I can, like, claim chunks on the map if I bring up the full screen version of it, which I think makes creepers not destroy stuff on them, which I'm done having happen. I had a bit of that earlier. So I had this up so high because I was like looking at the wiki trying to figure out how something worked, and it said that it's most efficient if it's like above or close to 200 elevation. So I was kind of like checking the elevation and just like extending this pole up and up and up and up and up and up and up forever, basically. What is going on the side there graphically? That's weird. Oh, I know what it is. I came up here and I made this windmill. And this is the immersive engineering windmill, not the create windmill, which is also a thing that I'm also going to probably make. It was a bunch of that treated wood stuff to make the actual blades, and then hemp fiber to make the sails to make it more efficient. And oh good, the sun's going down. And then I got these wire coils and just like copper wire strewn around for power for some things that I was generating. And I'm gonna have to put down sleep real quick. So I built it way up there because I read that it was more efficient as far as like how much power it generates the higher up it is. And then I started to take the wire all the way down. You kind of see it on the side there. I'll show it off again on the way back up. And I was going to bring that all the way down to my base and start using it there. But the problem is, I also found out after I was like mostly through with this and checked something else in the wiki that those like low-grade copper wires lose power over distance traveled, and it's like it's a rough rate too. It was like 5% per extra relay I had to put in there. You need relay like every 9 or 10 blocks, so or something like that, or I think 15. Not a huge number. So I'm like, okay, well I don't want to undo all these ones that I've already laid out here, so let me just oh, I should have some stone on me too to show something else off. Just slide back down here, grab something like that. Move this up here too with me. The stairs are part of this. So, anyway, what was I saying? Alright, so I'm like halfway down the pole with the power, and it's like, okay, well, I don't want to like undo all these connections because this is expensive stuff, and I'm like on the side of the pole, and I will drop everything into the void. And so I just kind of made this compromise platform like partway up here. Which is nice because how I have up here is kind of bulky. You'll see that in a second. So, create the cool, just glue out your Legos together thing, and the immersive engineering thing have similar stuff that they accomplish, but slightly different results, and very different methodologies. That one is just like, here is a cog, it spins things. Here is the shaft, it attaches to the center of a cog and spins. Just use these properties that naturally complement each other to do stuff. Whereas this one is just these multi-block structures where you just like, well, I have one partially built and I'll show that off in a second. But following a plan, you put a bunch of stuff down in an area and then just kind of smack it with the I'm done thing, and it will replace them with this like custom polygonal model of some big thing. So this is the blast furnace that I was using to make steel, which is a pain. I needed so much of that. This is a industrial press where you can take various things like this in different shapes, dump a big pile of bars on or plates on here, and they'll just kind of be carried along by the conveyor belt, which you can also extend. And as it gets under here, it will smash down and make a thing. I actually can show that off right now because I was making one of these, right? Ta-da. One of these. I need 3 total. And they're kind of a pain. This one is a big squeezer. And all these horrible power lines coming off here. It's possible to make insulated versions of these that if you use like combine it with some wool. If you just use raw copper like I am, then if you touch them, you take damage. So that's been fun. And they're interesting because they hang like an actual line would. They're not really like on the grid like everything else, which is a little weird and ugly and not how you're supposed to do things in Minecraft. But I kind of appreciate the snarl of it. But anyway, here's the new dust system. And before I do anything else, I am processing my coal coke through this, so let me just throw that in. And yeah, at the moment I have this chest on here to catch this, because I found out this has a giant internal buffer of like an hour's worth of work that it will just hold on to if you really load it up. But yeah, so the full process here is take wood, burn it to get take logs specifically, burn it to get charcoal, combine that charcoal with sulfur to get coal dust, burn the coal dust to get coal, then take the coal and put it into the coke oven to convert it to coal coke, and then take the coal coke and grind it up for coke dust, and then put the coke dust in here to get hop graphite dust. Combine and melt that down again to get the bars of it, and then take 4 of those bars and stamp it into a rod shape to get an electrode. I'm going to need 3 of these for some machine that I'm working on in the long run. Kind of a pain, but this is going to be the last one of these once that's done squeezing down. Or the last one for now, because they do break. Anyway, so this is kind of a safety chest that I just kind of tossed on here because, again, it was like backstuffing with the amount that I had going through, and it was kind of a thing. So let me just show off what happens if I take just a single piece of cobblestone and stuff it in there. So it gets dragged down to that, and well, it's not running right now, but it grinds it up, spits it into this chest, then it goes from this chest up to this big long curvy tube. It doesn't actually connect to anything until it gets over to here, where it gets drawn into the okay, I missed the whole process. Let me put a few of these in at once, just to... Yeah, 16 will do. Okay, so let me reload it up, and first I can... There we go. Grinds it up, right? And then it comes into this chest, then it goes up this tube, through this big long circuit to here, down into here, where you can see it being ground up, and now it's turning into flint, which is going to get routed through this pipe, and this pipe, if I can get around the back here, not what to do myself, just ends right there, spits it out in a big soaring arc, where I have this one block here just to kind of stop the trajectory so it doesn't keep going off the cliff, dropping the resulting flint back down in here. And this will make 3 pieces of dust out of 1 flint instead of just 2, which is what justified all of this. And hooray, more dust. And I don't really need the dust anymore, so I might just take this all apart soon because I can do the whole ore thing now. But that's the thing I did. And I'm proud of the whimsical nature of just, like I had to keep this pipe from touching itself or any chest I didn't want it to, and it's just kind of, like, all in here. I couldn't cross this wire because it would break the wire, and also touching it was, like, electrocuting me. And I kind of want everything, like, collectible from where I'm putting stuff in. So it's just this, like, big, loud, horrible, Susian Goldberg-y device that's like spitting stuff through the air at one point in the process, and I appreciate that. But you can see how long it's running for just doing the 16 pieces of cobblestone through this process. It's taken a bit, but yeah. So what happened is I put in like a dozen stacks, and they all end up in here, and then it has to process all of those into the gravel one by one, and then ascend all the way up there one by one, and then go through there, and then do this, and it's like, it took a couple hours for it to empty out so I could get my graphite thing going, which is what this is really here for. Anyway, yeah, that's that. I'm gonna actually pop my safety chest back up on here. So this here will, like, basically catch anything in the system at all, anywhere. Just because it, like, these pipes will kind of just try to find the first valve container they can find. And I'm using these drawers because these only hold, like, the one type of item and reject anything else tries to get into them. So it works for this. And everything else just kind of, and that's just like the good old hopper out of there, all vanilla style. So yeah, so this is like the chest everybody wants to be in, all the cool kids and whatnot. And I'm just going to leave some stuff in there and let this noisy thing do its crazy slit spinning business while I get back to this project. Oh, it's done. Okay. So this is a bunch of stuff that I have for this project, which is partly done. This is, at least for like the current like quest here that I'm on, the last of all this. So that's cool. Have those in there. So anyway, is it seriously getting? I have to bring a bed up here. I'm gonna do this sort of thing and talk at the same time. But anyway, I think I was talking about before. I have this projector thing, and this projector thing. I'm taking my bed with me. Or not. Still taking my bed with me just in case. Bad things happen when I lose track of time up there. And it's really hard to tell what time it is in Minecraft at that elevation. Anyway, projector. The projector is here to show me where I'm building stuff, and I'm gonna leave my stove on 1 second. Just one of those things where you hear a beep in the background, you know, and it's a little unnerving. Up, please. So anyway, projector, like I was saying. It has a bunch of these immersive engineering multi-block things in it. You pick one out like a catalog, and then set it to projection to the world mode, and hope that there's no passing clouds, because, like, this works out transparencies, and those work out transparencies, and it's a bad combination. Good. So anyway, yeah, projector. What it does is it creates this like phantom version of the thing you're working on, and if you are holding a block that goes in it, it becomes less transparent, like so. So this goes here. I believe that is the cauldron goes there. And then these ones, I think, are supposed to be a block of steel, which I don't actually have. I have steel blocks, because one thing with all these mods being compatible with each other is, like, sometimes the two of them have like the same basic resource, and it kind of all works together, because there's this one like real baseline mod, I think, called like the Ore Dictionary, which will say like, okay, this guy's steel block and this person's steel block are the same thing, just treat them as the same thing. But for some reason, somewhere in the process of this pack being put together and patched, this really wants to have a block of steel, which is not the same thing as a steel block. If you see, if I go through here, we have the block of steel from Earth Engineering, and we have the steel block from Mechanism. This one I have. This one I can't open up to see how you make it, because you can't make it, because you just make this, and all the recipes just use this. But this has the slight problem of kind of breaking this projector. So I can keep building this, but now I have to do it without the guide. And that means hitting tab and finding a wiki and hoping that the recipe hasn't changed too much from the version that I find on that wiki, and you know, taking things from there. So, and this is of course like the 5x5x5 one that I'm stuck on. So it's not a trivial, simple recipe at all. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, okay. This seems good. This page has a nice visualizer for this. That goes there. More steel blocks there and there, and then those are heavy and light. Okay, heavy, light, and then the middle is 6 of these. Oh right, there's just like a half height thing, so it looks weird. That could also be the problem. Those could be supposed to be like up some. We'll see how this works. I have some misgivings about this whole thing, and now it's gonna be da 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 da. Dun, dun, dun. And then another. I'm going to be very happy this all actually works in the end. But yeah, normally it would be like updating the image and bringing it up a floor, and I could, you know, go off that and like have confidence and double checking of my work and be definitely sure this is all where it's supposed to be. But that. Okay, yes. Now that should be the whole thing. So now if, and there's a huge if, I've done this right, I can climb down off of this and smack it with this hammer, and that is not this hammer. Okay. Do the thing. Do it. You know you wanna. Be the thing you were meant to be. Live your dream. Oh, that will also turn things. I didn't know that. And clouds are annoying when I'm trying to work on things. Because when it's in like the visualizer mode, these clouds are like totally obscuring the whole thing. And I should probably take some of that stone that I brought with me and like widen the space a little bit, shouldn't I? Put that in here. So if this doesn't work, I guess I'd have to either hope that I don't actually need this specific machine super terribly, which is the case for a lot of the things in this. There's kind of like a, okay, get to this point, and then you actually have a choice of which of these two ways of doing this you want to go with. So this one might not be super mandatory. It probably is, but oh no. There we go. Holding shift and scroll wheeling that apparently is a thing. So I'm trying to think, like, I really wish I had some other way to, like, check my work on this one. This all looks right. See, I did have, well, okay, that doesn't help. So according to the website, this doesn't even go to this school. That should be one of these, which I'm sure isn't going to work. Like, that couldn't possibly, right? Yeah, so this is a different version of this with a slightly redone design, which gotta stop doing that. So it doesn't like these little feet here. But like, I don't know what it wants in those. Apparently, it doesn't want steel blocks. It wants, I think, a block of steel. And like, the quest tree here says, you know, any sort of like steel block or a block of steel is fine. This one, though, doesn't exist. This one does. So the other thing that I could do, besides just wait for, maybe they'll patch it, is put away all my stuff, and then no? Dear anyone watching, like, there's a way to... How do you cheat in Minecraft? Because I might have to just, like, replace the one block with the other block. I thought that's what I typed. this. I know. Why the hell am I finding a tutorial for this on businessinsider.com? Oh. Oh, I see. I see how it is. Uh, I can do this, but. Uh-huh. Okay, please hold. Because this might reveal things that I would prefer not to see seen on stream. Now then, yes. Aha. Ooh. Look at me, all. Oh, this is awful. I've never actually seen creative mode in Minecraft. It is just a big pile of things here, turns out. So, okay. I need a block of steel, opposed to a steel block. Why no can I, like... Oh, okay. This is a way to do this? Sure. Ah, okay, okay. Aha! Give me. Give. Put in bar. Put in bar. Oh. Okay. Okay, this should work. This should work. Now, if I okay. 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 So now, you can all turn back around. I think I fixed a thing, maybe. We'll see. So if I get my projector back out. Aha, yeah. These are fine. Okay. So, people who are telling me out there on the internet that no, it's fine. It just says it wants this, but it'll actually use either one. Are filthy liars. But if I replace this with this... Hi, BB. Just using cheats to get blocks of steel instead of steel blocks because, haha, modded Minecraft. Sometimes things are other things. And do I... Please tell me that was just in the wrong spot. Okay. Okay. So now if I place these last two with that and that. Okay, cool. So now, you know, away, you noble sacrifices of... I did make the thing legit way, it's just that the mod broke. So now, if I take this here big old hammer, and I smack this big, ugly monstrosity with it in the right spot. Okay, and now you can go back to not being a thing. There. So, this is all a mess now, but I have an arc furnace. It is a big, large, horrible thing. It requires, if I recall, like 3 sources of power, and is facing the wrong way to hook it up to the power that I already have. Also, I don't know what I'm using it for, and it can just be a big, old, intimidating, horrible monster in my big pile of intimidating, horrible monster stuff. And now that I have at least one person watching, though, again, let me once again, I'll dump the rest of this stuff in here. Just remember it's in this very special chest. The rest of this, I think I want it on me, and hey, please tell me that, like, okay, good, my backpack is all where I left it. So, you know, yeah, taking all the stuff out of the safety chest, taking off the safety chest, and let's get all up on here to watch this from the right angle as I just load in the cobblestone to make it start its horrible grim work of just first to grind that up, watch it go up this crazy tube all the way over here, into this, which will then start spitting out debris as it grinds that up in a different way, generating flint, which goes up this tube, and just kind of pops out of that pipe, careening across the landscape to smack into that freestanding block, which causes it to fall back into here, and at the end of the day, I get some dust. Precious, precious dust. Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible, loud eyesore, and I kind of am really proud of it. And I put all the comments on it, didn't I? Sure did. So this has been a thing that I've worked on, and this is done processing all that. So now I can take this downstairs and cook it in something. And I'll have way back up here, and then I'll have my third electrode, and the electrodes power that giant arc furnace, and the giant arc furnace does, I don't know, arc furnace stuff. And meanwhile I have this wonderful business for mixing things and crushing them and whatnot. And yeah, that's kind of where that's all at. I do kind of like this solar cooker thing where it just like uses sunlight and mirrors to save you fuel. And I'm still proud of my auto tree thing, which trees grow faster. Anyone who missed my showing that off earlier during the please hold moment. Just gonna gradually grind through the whole thing, replant the saplings, keep going. And spin forever. So that's where that's all at. So that whole side of that tree is completed. That was just kind of this whole process of like first getting iron and then... Oh yeah, first I had to make an anvil and drop it from a height onto a bar to get the first plate, because I needed the first plate to make, among other things, the nice little mechanical press that I use for the rest of it, and also the whole pile of garbage up here. So that's all finally done, and that was so much steel. It was like one piece for each of that, and then like 20 for that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and it was like, get this iron, put it in the special furnace with special fuel, and blah blah blah. That is done, and I can now fill my inventory with a bunch of gravel, but I'm not doing anything with it just yet. You know what? You are now the gravel drawer. Eat this gravel. There we go. Eat all this gravel. Oh, it's full. Right. It's still some space. So, okay. Blank ores. This was the new thing I got. Now I can take these, and I can throw these into this special blue water. And da-da-da-da-da-da. Look at that, I got silver and niter and iron ore instead of just the bars or little piles of dust. And what's cool about that is, well, possibly cool, is that, for instance, you, iron ore, what can I do with you? I can, of course, just, like, throw it into a furnace, get a bar of iron. Or I can make these giant crushing wheels and get definitely some crushed iron and maybe some extra and cobblestone. Or alternatively, I can throw it into that crusher and get 2 iron grit and some nickel grit. But the crushed iron I can then take and do a thing with. Uses. Yeah, I can either melt that down as is, or I can build this thing to wash it off and get little chunks of iron, which can then be mixed back together. And the practical upshot is the more work I'm going to do, the more resources I get out of each piece. So it can kind of be like 3 to 1 or 4 to 1, or something like that. Although if I do the create stuff, there's like a random chance thing. And did I leave my freaking bed up there? I sure did. So, okay. Again, sing along to the Metal Gear song. Yeah, you want to. I should really just make a second bed and leave one up here and one down there, so that I'm not like panicking. Or I can put lights in places. That's the thing people do in Minecraft sometimes, isn't it? But yeah, so I think my next major project here is going to be doing the create stuff, because I really like that particular mod. It's very cool how it works. I'm going to set up this whole laborious process to process the hell out of these various ores as I get them through the crushing wheels and the like washing mechanism, and have a bunch of like conveyor belts and stuff like that carrying everything around. I'm so proud of this whole setup here. And again, I love how it's actually like there is a water wheel in here, and it's just like, okay, if there's water on me, spin in that direction, and then it makes this little shaft here spin, and there's this big wheel on that, which makes this little wheel go at twice the speed, and so on and so forth. And here's my wonderful little conveyor belt and press and little mixer and whatnot all hooked up. So yeah, what I'm going to actually build next then is it's all out of order. Hey, remote. I believe it was a crushing wheel. I need to make 2 of these. And the problem is, you'll see, this is more than 3x3. However, I can make a bunch of these mechanical crafters first. And oh, yeah, that's a big long tooltip. So these take some stuff, and I think I have the parts for most of this around. But the idea is you make a big wall of these, and then just use that big wall of these as the crafting grid. It can be like any arbitrary size and shape, and you can just kind of build larger things that way, or like automate things by just, you know, okay, stick one of these in this slot whenever you have it, etc., etc. So, let me be all fancy too, and okay, cogwheels, brass casing, crafting table, and electron tubes. Okay. And that requires a bunch of brass sheets. And do I have any brass at all in my handy storage thing? I sure don't. I sure don't. And that was made in the alloy kiln with copper and zinc. Okay, what do I have for copper and zinc? I got some. So, cooking in here. Okay, that's done. Copper and who don't I need? You just go away. Zinc. Okay, cool. You know what? Do something with the gravel. You'll figure it out. I really love this remote storage thing. That's like super handy. And I know the new tier quest that I'm now getting into ends up making the whole refined storage and auto crafting thing, which is like even better, because you can imagine the setup where it's just like, okay, I need this like brass casing. Here's the recipe for how you make that. You got the recipes for all the subcomponents of that. Here are like little input and output things attached to all the weird crazy contraptions that make these things. You figure it out. I'll be back in 5 minutes, and it'll just kind of pump whatever resources through whatever outputs and inputs, and eventually make the stuff and store it in a big computer, basically, and just let me yank it out with a remote and not have to deal with any inventory management. So that's cool. And again, I love that modded Minecraft has this elegant solution to your inventory management problems, and then also like creates as many inventory management problems as it can, and how packs like this will go out of their way to like find the worst system somebody's made for doing something and give you that first, and then make you earn the later ones that are like better. It's just kind of like building progression out whatever's lying around the room, essentially. So, okay, that's done. And then get some zinc. Yeah. And I still have this, which I'm probably going to need for some stuff, I think. So, dust the other stuff. And then other stuff, go away. I don't actually want you in my inventory, just... I know I'm going to need a redstone, and this is how I get that. Okay. You know what, take that one iron plate I made just to show that I could. And, you know, I'm going to put this bed down so I don't, like, lose my only bed. Horrible tragedy. So, yes, that was cooking. That's enough to get started. This was... And I gotta clean up this, like, giant pile of barreled up creosote oil I have, too. Okay, copper and zinc in some ratio. Cooks down to brass, yes? Yes, okay. So I need some of that, and then... It was... these. I say these. Don't know how to actually set a bookmark. I'm also gonna need a bunch of this. I'm just gonna need a bunch of rose quartz. Right, which is okay, more of that. And redstone just all over the place. Quartz dust. Let me just get like a batch of this all going at once. I should probably make like a second stove at some point too, but what are you gonna do? You're on break. Need some of these. So this is kind of a fun one to make actually too. Just get a few of those. Yeah, sure, fine. And I like that this remote little grid here like maintains what it had in it too, like that. So okay, rose quartz, bunch of that. But it's got to be polished rose quartz, and I believe I have some, yeah, some sandpaper in here already. So I take this, I put that in my offhand, I put that in my main hand, and then I just kind of and ta-da, polished rose quartz. And then, of course, when I need more sandpaper, I just need to get some sand and some paper. And just, you know, is it in a particular shape? That was how I made sandpaper, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. It's. Oh, that's the problem. Right. Why do I have sandstone at all? What was I doing with sandstone? As I was saying, just combine sand and paper, and you get some sandpaper. Just got a couple pieces of that. Throw you back in there. And shiny. Okay. So it was a bunch of these, bunch of redstone torches, and then nuggets of some sort. Right. And redstone torches are also super easy, just kind of that's it, really all I have left. To start. You just sit there until I need you again. And then I'm going to need crafting tables, I believe. So just get some wood there. Da. Oops, I did not mean to hit that. So now I think I have all the things for the crafter. No? What was I missing? Brass casing. Okay, that's good actually. That's another excuse to show off my fancy press setup. So yeah, I am pretty lost in the weeds at this point with this, as you can see. So take that. Gonna finish cooking down that. What do I have in here even? Zinc. Gonna collect the rest of this brass. And let's see. it on there. Stamp. Okay. So this. Right. Oops, gotta be in my thing. Okay, make another few of those. Why do you keep the lock thing? It's annoying. Ah, that's it for that. Okay, but now right. Oh, those notes on that. Okay, that's good enough for those. Now I need these parts, which, yeah, cool. Just throw those in there, and now, okay. Who don't I need on me? Wood, go away. There. So, yes, this is the mechanical crafter. So the idea is, I think I've never actually used it before, so let me go over to my new little, wait, no, it's just up here. Let me get, do I have some cobblestone on me somewhere? Like, that'd be kind of handy. No? Where the hell did I put that? Okay, gonna go grab some of that. Or I can just show this off right here too, that also works. But basically, you set a bunch of these up like this, and didn't I have a wrench or something to like tweak this? Like, okay, there's like a special thing for this. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me make the special wrench. I should have done forever ago, because, like, you don't... Okay, I don't really have the stuff to make the special wrench, of course. Gold sheets? I don't want to go make gold. Gotta be a better way I can do this, then. Like, what if I... have these, like... No. What if I have these, like... Okay, yeah. And then... Yeah, so that should work. So, I'm going to need, I think I actually have that on me, don't I? A little hand crank to power this with? Yeah, so for example, if I want to use this to make another crafting table with the next one, I just kind of stick that on there, and then yeah, hand crank that? No? Not that angle? What if I have a cog on me? I do have cogs somewhere, right? Somewhere on me. I know I used my last one. Well, cannibalism it is. Who's not doing anything over here? You there. You're needed for a demonstration of a thing across the room. Okay, so eventually you can hook it up to like a windmill or something, but if I just have that on there, and then that on there, screw you, overstressed. But anyway, I would turn that, and then these would all like move in those directions and match these together, and it would like combine right there and make the crafting table then pop off in that direction, and you can make large things and automate them that way, and that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm basically just going to set this up as like a one-time thing just to, oops, I'm not going to throw it away. Well, not throw away, but, you know. So, yeah, that's kind of my next step with this now, is going to be to... You already have an open hand, don't you? What else is an essential? There we go. So, I can, yeah, set up this whole thing and make those big giant grinding wheels. Then I'm gonna like set a couple of those up in a big belt going through them, and I'm gonna have this whole elaborate thing that'll just stretch on for a while and just process all these ores that I'm getting on my new water there into large piles of metal. That's basically the current plan. I'm probably gonna go back off camera for that because it's gonna be like, you know, tedious and all that, and I'm kind of just trying to do like little check-ins with this instead of making you watch me play this very, very grindy, slow game. I'm kind of more in a just like, so here's what's going on in crazy Minecraft mod land than like doing a Let's Play thing. But anyway, so yeah, just like recapping progression, it was just like get trees out of these roots, and from there get, you know, actual wood, and then make a bunch of stuff out of wood and get grass, and like combine grass and pebbles to make dirt, and then after making your own dirt, plant stuff in that dirt, and take like wet dirt to make clay, and blah blah blah, and get a clay bucket, fill the bucket with water, and put the water somewhere, and then dump a bunch of weird stuff in there to make it this, you know, like, where am I? This funny smelling water here that makes things more planty, and then that was basically like the whole first tier of this, and then it was into just doing other funny stuff with water to get various kinds of like bits of metal in dusty form, and combining those out to actually build things. And now I'm at the point of having done that, made these elaborate machines upstairs, and now I am still having to do this part that I forgot about, and then it's on to just combining all this stuff to make a centrifuge, apparently, get oil, and do this whole oil refinery thing that sounds like a pain, and use the byproducts of that to make some kind of like heavy industrial machine assembly thing, which I will start using to make printed circuit boards, which I will use for like high-end electronics and pressure chambers and such to eventually make processors for building the refined storage system, which will then like make the inventory management much easier, which by that point will really be a pain, and also get better cables that work better than what I'm using right now. And they might have, honestly, like I already have some industrial byproducts I'm managing. If I yet again run upstairs to horrible land. Oh, incidentally, the giant column of water is because when I moved my like little millstone up here again, I had to set up a water wheel to power it and just left it running off the edge. But yeah, so aside from all that creosote oil, I'm just like stacking up in bins, so I don't really know what to do with it. I've also got when I was making steel, it had, and I love how I happen to build like right where the clouds are, so I'm always just having to walk through these up here. It creates this slag, which I think can be used to make concrete, but is otherwise and sand. Okay, so I can do something with it, but it's mostly a horrible runoff thing. And apparently sometimes villagers like it. I don't expect to see any villagers in this Skybox mod, or Skyblock mod, because, like, where's the village? Unless I make my own somehow. And I love whatever mod just makes that grow until it hits the ceiling. That's a really hilarious amount of sugarcane in one spot. But yeah, so I'm tripping over creosote oil and all this stuff, and I'm probably going to regret taking my, like, rich mineral water and turning it into the ore water, because... Well, no, I can still get stuff out of that. It's just a slightly more involved process than it was before. But yeah, so the next step with all this is I'm going to build out a new platform, make some really giant gears, and get the whole, like, heavy-duty multi-step ore processing going on to get materials to start tackling this next general tier of stuff. Which, what actually do I need to get, like, started in this anyway? I'm assuming... Oh, I just throw andesite casings into the arc furnace that I just finished. Okay, that's really simple. I was expecting that to be a lot more involved. Granted, building that was a pain. Ooh, and I can get, like, electric furnaces now, and oh, a pulverizer, which is another way to do a bunch of stuff and get dust. Precious dust. And another smelting method. Okay, and then plain old enchanting. So yeah, this is a lot. And there's also this one quest that I'm ignoring because I can take a special magic plant and throw it into that ore water to get a special magic plant that, like, turns regular stone into ore. But that is from this mod called Botania, which does a lot of really interesting stuff and is really complicated and gives me a headache, and I don't want to touch it if I don't have to. So I'm just doing my best to ignore that one. But yeah, so I'm going to basically spend the next however many days just expanding things and building another big pile of garbage, and I will be tuning in again around when I finally get this page mostly filled in and have a new storage system that's, like, just letting me automate all of the things forever. And then I'm going to start working on what the hell am I going to... I'm going to just start working on Robbits, apparently. So I'm looking forward to that. That sounds fun. And better cabling and... Yeah, so I'm going to have little robot friends to make a... Why would I need that? I'm curious what the digital miner is for when there's no, like, world to mine. Oh, okay. That answers that. So, yeah, eventually going to be going to various other dimensions and setting up auto miners in them to get all the stuff, apparently. And doing the whole thing with the nether in the end and fighting bosses. And then we're working on absurdly large crafting tables for things and making quantum computers, and apparently a black hole. That's a nice, like, that's a crafting grid, and that's a nice little end goal, I guess, is just create a giant black hole. Sure, I'll do that. But yeah, I'm gonna, like, again, be checking in, like, when I finish the next page. This one's mostly done. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this, honestly. Like, it's a confusing, convoluted mess, but that's specifically what I signed up for. And, like, some of the actual, like, individual mechanics are neat. Like again, putting this whole thing together and trying to get the gears to interlock and planning out how that was all going to spin in the right direction stuff. That was fun. I like doing that. So I'm going to be doing more of that specifically soon. And probably do, like, an actual windmill instead of this water mill. And I should probably not go down there. I will drown or be crushed or something. But yeah, that's the current state of the thing. That was me rambling this for a couple hours, I think. So, yeah. Gonna be calling it here. Thank you for tuning in. Let me see real quick, like, is there someone I can do the whole raid thing to? Not that I am seeing. So that's a shame. So, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna call this for now. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be doing more of this whenever I'm at another, like, major tier. But yeah, yeah, like your life is really different before and after you look into the current state of modded Minecraft. Like, because again, the other thing with this too is, like, if I just look at the big everything, it shows what mod everything is from, and like this one fairly modest pack is using like 20 or 30 different projects maintained by different people over the course of several years that have, like, grown into this ecosystem where they all have allowances for each other and are, like, designed to work with each other specifically, and it's just this... It's this really convoluted game that just kind of is maintained by several dozen independently functioning weirdos who just, like, have worked out a standard between them. And I still haven't started using this cage full of tamed rats to cook my food for me. I should get on that at some point. And I still have this, like, accidental prison full of plague doctors who keep stealing my eggs and milk, which kind of amuses me, honestly, more than anything. they just spawned in there. And it's tempting to just, like, hit one block of that right now and crash my game. But yeah, and I'm probably going to do something more fancy with this, too, at some point when I get a little bit further along and get more need for wood. But yeah, for now, this is my life as I build weird stuff in Minecraft to pass the time while waiting on a bunch of annoying medical stuff, honestly. So yeah, I'll be back to this when I'm back to this, and I might stream something else if the mood strikes me, and I just, like, do back to the whole plotting through my Steam library. But for now, that is that. Again, thank you for tuning in.